On to Sterlite Technologies then, and it's been a good quarter for them as well. The profit figure has gone up by about 60 odd percent. Sales are up about 23% as well. Operationally, it's been a good quarter. Margins have expanded too. Interest costs has come down. So good quarter for Sterlite Technologies. The other big boost, of course, coming in is that the cabinet has cleared the phase 2 of the BharatNet project. Anand Agarwal, the CEO at Sterlite Technologies, with us. Anand, good to have you on the show. Congratulations on a good Q1. But before we talk about your earnings, of course, let's talk about the big trigger for the company. Phase 2 of BharatNet has been cleared. How will this benefit you? What's the outlook on this one? What is the kind of opportunity that you're eyeing?
Yeah, good morning. The BharatNet project has been cleared, which is for 150,000 next phase Gram Panchayats. And clearly for us, the opportunity would be both in terms of what we can supply, optical fibers, optical fiber cables, as well as the service offering. While the first phase was largely executed by private sector enterprises, for the second phase, it's open for both public and private enterprises, and we intend to participate in some of the service installation and service management offerings as well.
So you're saying this time around there will be higher competitive intensity for some of those contracts?
It's essentially it's a large requirement. It's requiring 150,000 Gram Panchayats across the country to be connected, and we believe that the requisite capabilities to do the job, to do the installation and do the management for a period of 10 to 15 years is very, very limited in the country. So in fact, we would be looking at people who have these sort of competencies, and the government, that's why has invited a larger pool, essentially for those capabilities which can execute this job.
I know it's early days yet, but have you done any internal calculations as to the kind of opportunity this could be for your company? It is a long-term contract that you'll get, but any calculations that you've done in far as what you're targeting, what you could get?
Nothing. The cabinet approval has only been received yesterday, so we will see as to how the planning is for execution, the planning is for packaging. Based on that, we'll take calls as to whether our participation needs to be in products or services or both.
And just to understand from you, because we're trying to put together the kind of opportunity for the industry in phase 2. When phase 1 was announced, how much of a boost was it for you? What's the quantum of orders that you were able to bag?
In phase 1, as I said, services was essentially by the public sector enterprises. On the product front, whatever products were supplied, we supplied almost more than 50% of the optical fiber which went, supplied more than 30% of the optical fiber cables which went. So phase 1 was about, I believe, close to 11,000 crore, and we had gotten 600-700 crores out of that. Phase 2, our focus, our degree of penetration would be larger than phase 1, and we hope to engage more deeper in phase 2.
Right, and I have a couple of questions regarding that which I'll ask you, but before we get into that, let's talk about your quarter then. It's been a good quarter for you, a 66% jump in profits, margins have expanded as well. What's the reason behind the same, and can we expect this kind of a run rate to continue?
Pranay, the run rate essentially has been pretty consistent for us over the last several years, and we've been growing. And the bigger part which is leading to higher visibility that we have is essentially the growth in the order book. Our order book essentially on the products has more than doubled over the last 1 year. Last year around this time, we had 700-800 crores of products order book, which is now close to about 1,600 crore. The company's order book is now more than 3,100 crores. And that's providing us a great degree of operational leverage, great degree of clarity in terms of planning. And that will continue to be our focus, as to create a good order book pipeline and then execute it really well. And the numbers which come in terms of EBITDAs and bottom line then become a derivative of that.
Right. In terms of expansion, in terms of capex, in terms of utilization, where are you at currently? And since BharatNet 2 is going to be a big opportunity for you, any incremental addition that we can see to you, to your capacities?
Sure. We are just finishing one capacity expansion to go from 22 million to 30 million kilometers, which will be largely executed in the current quarter. We announced last quarter also the next expansion to go from 30 million kilometers to 50 million kilometers of optical fiber. This capacity will fully be underway by June 2019. However, phases of that will start coming in before that. And for this, we are going to spend between 1,000 to 1,200 crores. So this is going to be our current focus in terms of making sure this capacity comes on board as much as possible. We are able to modularly deliver something earlier than that. And we had done it largely in anticipation of both global opportunities as well as the opportunities in India driven by BharatNet, driven by smart cities, etc.
How will you fund this? Internal accruals, or will you add to your debt?
It will be largely internal accruals. There may be some short-term bridge debt, but largely, since it's going to be funded over the next 2.5 years, it will be largely internal accruals.
And your interest cost has gone down by about 10% for the quarter. Can we expect a further reduction going forward from here, or would you maintain it at the levels it's at?
Our overall debt levels has been consistently coming down. Last year around this time, we were at 1.3x debt equity ratio. We ended the quarter at about 0.9x debt equity ratio. And our focus will be to maintain debt equity less than 1. And again, interest cost per se would be a derivative of the debt levels that we are able to maintain. And we are very conscious about making sure that the debt equity levels are at reasonable levels.
Just getting back on the order book picture, what are some of the other government orders that you're targeting? Are you L1 in any of the orders for the moment? And you said the total order book is at 3,100 crores, but for FY18, in terms of order book addition, is there any estimate that you have currently?
We have a very strong pipeline. We have bidded for opportunities in excess of 10,000 crores or so. So we believe that some of these opportunities over the next 3 to 4 quarters would start getting added to the order book portfolio. And our order book year on year has been growing. 2 years ago for the business, it was close to 1,500 crore. Last year, it was about 2,300 crores. It's gone to 3,100 crores right now. And we believe it with the engagement, with the opportunities, and with the focus, we believe it will continue to grow as we start keep moving forward.
Right. Final question. Your export revenue has gone up by about 43%. What's the traction in international markets? And just to understand from you, what's the total revenue breakup between domestic and exports? And could there be any change to this mix going forward?
Yeah, our exports has been doing pretty well over the last, I would say, 4 or 5 quarters. Our exports is now, last year we were at about 37% was exports, 63 was India. Last quarter was still a bit more, exports became 43%. And our order book for exports is also pretty strong because globally we are seeing a great degree of deployment of fiber. Globally, we are seeing people getting ready for 5G deployment, wherein every cell site needs to be connected by fiber. So we continue to be very bullish on our global forays.
Fair point, Anand. We'll leave it at that. But congratulations to you on a good quarter.
Thanks.
And we'll keep connecting with you for more. That's management of Sterlite Tech for you. It's been a good quarter for them. A big boost coming in because phase 2 of BharatNet has been cleared as well. And they're eyeing big opportunities from that one as well. On that note, completely out of time on this edition of Trending Today. Thank you so much for watching. Market Guru is up next.